Because Jay did what he did. He didn't want to pay $3. He made a move on his friends. It is
What do you call a billionaire who built his empire off loyalty, only to turn his back on the very man who helped him get there? Oh right, Jay-Z. The same Jay-Z sitting on a $2.5 billion fortune, sipping Ace of Spades champagne, while Dame Dash's former day one partner, his so-called brother, is drowning in debt and begging courts to keep the lights on. Let that sink in for a second. The man who once screamed, "I'm a business man," can't even cut a check to the dude who literally made him a business in the first place. Ain't that wild? Or maybe this is just the coldest betrayal hip-hop has ever seen. Worse than Drake versus Pusha T. Worse than Suge Knight versus the world. Now the internet is on fire, with everyone asking the same question. How can Jay be worth billions, but still refuse to toss Dame a lifeline? Is this billionaire brilliance or billionaire bitterness? Was loyalty just a myth cooked up in Rockefeller boardrooms while contracts and chess moves were getting signed behind closed doors? Strap in, because what I'm about to show you will make you question whether loyalty in hip-hop ever really existed. Let's cut straight to it. This ain't just another rap beef. This is the ultimate billionaire betrayal. The kind of scandal that makes soap operas look like bedtime stories. We're talking about Jay-Z, the man who told the world to brush dirt off your shoulder, but apparently never learned how to brush loyalty back onto his own friends. And on the other side, Dame Dash, the hustler turned mogul who once rode shotgun in every deal that made Rockefeller Records a global empire. Back in the 90s, these two weren't just business partners, they were hip-hop's Batman and Robin. Jay had the bars, Dame had the business brain. Together, they hustled out of car trunks, flipped street credibility into boardroom power, and built a dynasty when no label in New York wanted to give Jay the time of day. But here's the thing about empires. They don't crumble from the outside, they collapse from within. Fast forward to today, and what do we have? Jay-Z, sitting on billions, making Forbes covers, building generational wealth, while Dame Dash files bankruptcy papers like they're mixtapes. We're talking $25 million in debt, court-ordered auctions of his assets, and lawyers hunting him down like TMZ hunts down Kanye meltdowns. Now here's the kicker. Jay could fix this in a single afternoon, literally. He spends more on one champagne-fueled Rock Nation brunch than what it would take to wipe Dame's slate clean. But instead of helping, Jay stays silent. Not a cent, not a check, not even a get well soon Hallmark card. Cold, right? Right? And the streets are noticing. Social media is blowing up with hashtags like #HelpDame and #Billionaire, but heartless. Memes are everywhere. Jay Photoshop is Scrooge McDuck swimming in money, while Dame begs outside Rock Nation HQ with a cardboard sign reading "Will manage artists for food." But here's where it gets murkier. People are saying maybe Jay's silence isn't just petty, it's calculated. Anonymous sources close to Rock Nation whisper that Jay never forgot Dame's ego back in the day. Remember when Dame used to barge into boardrooms, scream at executives, and humiliate anyone who didn't bow to his authority? Jay might just be watching Dame's empire burn as payback, proving that karma isn't just real, it's got a $1 billion sponsor. And then there's the Aaliyah angle. Yep, people still whisper about the tension when Jay and Dame both had history with her before her tragedy. See passing. Could old wounds still be bleeding decades later? Could Jay's billionaire cold shoulder actually be personal revenge disguised as business decisions? The scandal isn't just about money, it's about betrayal, ego, and the deadliest game of chess hip-hop has ever seen. And speaking of chess, the next move Dame made, oh, that's where the scandal explodes. Because just when everyone thought Dame Dash was down and out, clutching his bankruptcy papers like mixtape flyers on 125th Street, he pulled a move nobody saw coming. Instead of quietly disappearing, Dame went nuclear, dragging Jay-Z's name into every interview, every podcast, every Instagram live he could find. One day it's, "Jay betrayed me." The next day it's, "Jay stole Rockefeller from me." And by Friday, it's, "Jay-Z's been working with the Feds since day one." Yes, you heard that right. Dame actually hinted that the most powerful rapper alive might have government ties. Imagine the internet meltdown. But hold up, it gets Jewisher. According to an anonymous insider who conveniently accidentally leaked an email, Dame allegedly tried to auction off Jay-Z's first album, Reasonable Doubt, as an NFT to pay off his debts. Can you picture that? A legendary piece of hip-hop history turned into a digital trading card just so Dame can keep his mortgage from bouncing. Jay's lawyers, they went ballistic. They slap lawsuits faster than DJ Khaled yells another one. And suddenly, the private beef between brothers became a full-blown courtroom circus. Now let's sprinkle some sarcasm here, because while Dame's running around screaming culture vulture at everyone in a suit, the man himself is accused of dodging child support payments, defaulting on loans, and writing checks that bounce higher than Drake's heartbreak anthems. And yet he still finds time to call Jay-Z the villain. Irony much. Meanwhile, Jay-Z stays silent, like completely silent. No interviews, no tweets, no shady subliminals in songs, nothing. And that silence is louder than any diss track could ever be. Fans are split. Some say it's the classy billionaire move. Never argue with a man drowning. You'll just get wet. Others say it's cold-blooded, like watching your homie choke while you sip champagne. And ask Alexa to turn up the volume. But here's the plot twist. Leaked documents floating around Reddit claim that Dame once threatened to expose everything about Rockefeller's early shady deals if Jay didn't cut him in on a payout. And guess what? The so-called exposure files are rumored to include backroom deals with shady promoters, payola schemes, and even offshore accounts used to funnel cash before Roc Nation went legit. If that's even half true, Jay-Z's billionaire image could take a serious hit. The public's reaction, a circus, Twitter spaces packed with fans debating is Jay a snake or a genius, TikToks with fake leaked voicemails of Dame begging for help, and YouTubers like yours truly turning every scrap of rumor into breaking news because, let's be real, this drama is too good to ignore, and just when you think it can't get more chaotic, the story takes a darker turn. Because while Dame's screaming into microphones, and Jay's hiding behind billion-dollar boardrooms, the government allegedly starts sniffing around, and that's when the fallout begins. Because once Uncle Sam starts sniffing around, you know somebody's about to get cooked. And in this case, both Jay-Z and Dame Dash found themselves in the crosshairs, one for being too broke, and the other for being too rich. Fake leaked reports from so-called government insiders claim that federal investigators were curious about how Rockefeller's early millions magically disappeared from ledgers back in the late 90s. The files allegedly, titled Project Empire State, paint a wild picture. Offshore accounts in the Cayman Islands, unreported tour cash stuffed in duffel bags, and shell companies named after, I kid you not, monopoly properties. If you think I'm exaggerating, well, welcome to the Rockefeller Cinematic Universe. Now, Dame Dash, he panics. He starts going on podcasts saying, they're trying to silence me because I know the truth. He compares himself to Malcolm X, Tupac, and even Batman in one rant that went so viral, people started remixing it into TikTok dances. Meanwhile, Jay-Z's response? A new $10 million philanthropy fund that just so happens to launch the same week the reports leak. Coincidence? Or billionaire damage control at its finest? Public reaction was a roller coaster. Some fans screamed, see, Jay's hiding skeletons in his billion-dollar closet, while others defended him, saying, y'all mad at a man for winning the game he was forced to play. And Dame? He doubled down. He released what he called the Roc Files, a messy collection of photocopied contracts, blurry screenshots, and a notebook page that looked suspiciously like it came from a middle school history class. Still, his die-hard supporters ate it up like gospel truth. But here's where it really spirals. Rumors start swirling of potential subpoenas. Some blogs even claim the SEC, yes, the actual Securities and Exchange Commission, was considering opening a probe into old Rockefeller business structures. Think about that for a second. Jay-Z, the billionaire businessman, potentially dragged back into the mud of his street hustler past. The internet had a field day. Memes of Jay in an orange jumpsuit next to Dame in court went viral overnight. Of course, nothing ever came of those investigations. Surprise. Surprise, the billionaire walked free. The broke partner kept screaming, and the public was left arguing in YouTube comment sections. But the damage? Oh, the damage was done. Jay-Z's image as the untouchable chess master got a dent, while Dame's reputation as the loud, bitter ex-partner cemented itself even deeper. And that's the real tragedy here. Not the money, not the lawsuits, not the headlines. The tragedy is that Rockefeller, the label that defined an era, that turned hip-hop into high fashion, that made Brooklyn and Harlem feel invincible, ended up as nothing more than a billionaire V's bankrupt soap opera. Because in the end, it's not just about Jay refusing to help Dame. It's about loyalty versus ambition, brotherhood versus business, heart versus hustle. And if this saga proves anything, it's this. In the world of hip-hop empires, Loyalty isn't forever, but betrayal? Betrayal is timeless. So here we are. Jay-Z, hip-hop's first billionaire, chose silence, strategy, and champagne, while Dame Dash's day one partner chose lawsuits, interviews, and bankruptcy papers. And the question that won't go away, is this the price of ambition or the punishment for betrayal? Because let's be honest, if Jay can't throw a lifeline to the man who helped him build an empire, what does that say about the idea of loyalty in hip-hop? Was it ever real or just another marketing slogan to sell records? Now, I want to hear from you. Is Jay-Z a cold-blooded genius who played the game right? Or is he a billionaire snake who abandoned his brother when he needed him most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading them all. And don't forget, like this video, share it everywhere, and hit subscribe, because the truth is only just getting started.